up? And welcome back to Opposites Attract podcast. This is Sonja Ramirez, your girl, and I'm sitting here next to
Miguel Ramirez. What's up, babe?
Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday.
Yes. Let's go ahead, get our plugs out of the way so that we can get this podcast going.
Heck yeah. So as always, this podcast is brought to you by Trust Inc. USA. That's trustincUSA.com. And what is Trust Inc.?
We are a mobile notary agency. We are nationwide. We do a lot of work with title companies, law firms, and individuals as well. So if you're in need of a mobile notary, give us a call. Look us up on our website. We are also independent associates of Legal Shield. And what Legal Shield does is it gives you access to attorneys at the palm of your hand for affordable monthly fee.
Yeah, so you don't have to pay $200-$300 an hour. You can get a hold of this membership through Sonja and trustincUSA.com.
Yes.
And you can, all the services that you would normally use are covered by your monthly fee, like consultation, document review, will preparation, that sort of thing, and a lot more. So you guys
tickets.
We
should talk
traffic
about
tickets.
Yeah,
we've used that a lot.
Got you out of a ticket, out of state.
Yeah, it's got us out of a couple tickets. So
yes.
Yeah.
So if you want to save money on your insurance, want to keep those points down.
Yes, go to trustincUSA.com and you can see that. Also, make sure you go to oppositesattractpod.com and you can see the YouTube channel. You can subscribe to the podcast on Spotify, on iTunes, on Android, wherever you want. You can see it at oppositesattractpod.com. You can also go to support the show tab at the top and it'll take you to our Amazon affiliate link. And whatever you buy through Amazon, if you click through the link, it'll help out the show.
Yes. So thank you for those who have already done
we've had a couple.
Yeah. So thank you. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you.
So we just got back from church, my daughter and I actually went to Church for the Nations.
Nice.
Last time I went to the Grove, and so I felt called back to go to Church for the Nations, and it was absolutely great. They were talking about purpose, that we're all here to do something and how to find out what that is, because we are all good at something. And life at times keeps us so caught up that some of us never figure that out. Like, what is it that you like to do? What are you great at doing? Because we stop dreaming at a certain age. We stop life, we hear no or, just.
Well, life starts happening. At a certain point, you get a job, or not even a job. You want to get a cell phone as a kid, as a teenager, but your parents aren't going to pay for the cell phone. So
it depends.
You got to start working. Well, yeah, but for the most part, you got to start working so that you can pay for your cell phone, so you can text your girlfriend. But then you want to take your girlfriend on a date. So you got to buy a car.
Right.
You got to get car insurance.
Yeah.
You still live with your parents, but now you got stuff to pay for.
Yeah.
Then you want to move out, and little by little, you start thinking about all of these things.
Your dreams start to diminish as well, though. You forget, what, being young, like we ask our kids, like, what do you want to be when you grow up? What do you aspire, to do? And so anyways, it was a very good, what do you want to call it? Word.
Yeah.
People call it different things, but it was a very good word today. The message was good.
Yeah.
And so, we just talking to Audrey on the way home and asking her questions, and she's at that age where she wants to be a singer. Like every little girl wants to be a singer.
She wants to be a singer / veterinarian.
No.
Well, she used to.
Singer. Now it's singer. But I think a lot of us girls go through that phase where we want to be a singer, Yeah. So anyways, that was her answer.
Yeah. So
Joey loves art. She's very artistic.
Yeah, she is. And Joey and I ended up staying home and washing, or not staying home, but we went and took your car to get washed.
Thank you.
And yeah, it was fun. He's
Appreciate
cute.
It.
He likes taking all the floor mats out and putting them through the floor mat machine where they get all cleaned. And he loves helping. He likes helping out.
Yep. That's what I tell his teacher.
It's really nice.
Yep.
Yeah.
Every teacher he has, I'm like, he loves to help out. So if you need, someone to pass out papers or, just be your little helper, he would love to be your little helper because that's the way he is.
He's sweet. Like this past week, I told you already, but I had been warming up dinner and like we get home, like we're busy all the time. So we come home from jiu-jitsu and I tell the kids, go take a shower. I'm going to warm up the food. So he does what he has to do. He comes downstairs and he's like, Dad, is there something that I can help you with? And I had everything, pretty much wrapped up.
Yeah.
I was like, no, I got it. And he's like, are you sure? Can I help you with something?
Yeah.
He's so sweet. Yeah.
He is. So I got to give you a warning.
Yeah.
I made her coffee.
Yeah.
I put coconut oil in mine.
So we're going to end this podcast early?
My stomach's gurgling.
Oh,
I feel it.
You got the Bee Gees.
I'm like, hey, if I have to run, if you see me running in front of this camera.
Episode 25. We'll title this Sonja Shits Her Pants.
Shut up. I'm like, I should not have done that.
Yeah.
Hey, it's all good. It's happened to you too. And those of you that are listening, it's happened to you.
You know what? I was listening to another podcast earlier in the week and they were talking about this. Actually, it was Joe Coy's podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were talking about shitting their pants in different places.
On podcasts?
Yeah. Weird. So we'll just pick up from where they left off.
Right.
Yeah.
That's funny. Okay. So we were going to have a guest on today and, schedules conflicted and all that craziness. So we'll get that going. Let me see. Oh, hey.
What's up?
Yesterday. That was so cool. The
batting cages?
Batting cages.
So yesterday we had sports with the kids. Like they had their games in the morning.
Yeah.
Joey had his baseball game. Audrey had her basketball game. And I decided like let's go and hit the batting cages. Like it's fun. It's something different. Mm-hmm. We've never done it. I haven't done it.
I've never. I mean, the last I can remember is trying to play baseball during PE in 6th grade.
Yeah.
And because I'm a lefty and I've never played before and I didn't have any knowledge of the sport. So when the PE teacher is showing me how to stand, she's like, are you a lefty or a righty? I'm like, I'm a lefty. So she sets me up as a lefty would hit.
Yeah.
And I totally sucked. Like, I'm like, I never want to play this again. Like, I suck.
Yeah.
I remember hitting the ball like one time, and that was just a lucky shot.
Yeah.
So yesterday, but I've always liked the sport. Like,
Baseball?
I always liked it. Like, that's something that I would like to play if I was good at it, Yeah. But when he took us to the batting cages yesterday, I'm like, I'm going to do this. At first, I was like, no, because my back it's tight from working out. So I'm like, man, if I throw my back out, that wouldn't be a good thing. So I'm like, you know what, I'm going to pass. But then I decided, I heard David Goggins in my damn ear. Go out there and break your back. Stop crying.
Yeah.
So I'm like, shut up. No. So I decided to go out there and trying to figure out my stance. Like, I decided that, I think I would hit the ball better. I had a better chance if I was hitting it.
You were more comfortable.
Yeah. As a righty would hit it.
Yeah.
And I did pretty good. I have to say, I was proud of myself.
Yeah, you were cracking some.
I was proud of myself.
And it was baseball. It wasn't softball, and you were hitting them.
Yeah.
So that was pretty good.
He started us off at the 40 miles an hour ball.
Well, that's the slow baseball.
Yeah.
Because it goes up from there.
Yeah. That was not slow.
It was slow.
There was one slower.
No, there wasn't. It was slow pitch baseball. And in order to get slower, you have to go to softball.
Oh,
so we were playing, the last ones that we were playing were softball because the kids were having a hard time hitting. Audrey was hitting them pretty good, though. Joey was having a hard time hitting the baseball. So we ended up moving to softball. But it's crazy. Like seeing a 40 mile an hour
Yes.
pitch.
Compared to the soft.
Yeah, well, the softball is just kind of lobbing it up.
Yeah.
But thinking about the machine pitching to you at 40 miles an hour and a major league pitcher pitching at 90-something miles an hour, like 40 was fast.
You're right.
I mean, I guess you can get used to it like the guy was saying there, but I can't imagine. That's more than double what they're doing in the major leagues.
Yeah.
I don't even know how you swing at that.
I don't know. Maybe we should try.
Yeah, it's crazy. But if you step it up, like you can go from 40 to like 53 and then it goes up to like 60 something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
maybe
next time.
Maybe. Poor Joey got his little hand hurt.
He got hit in the finger.
Yeah.
With a baseball. But he sucked it. He did good. He sucked it up and then we moved to the softball.
Yeah, when we went paintball
same
shooting,
thing. Yeah, same thing. He got shot in the finger.
He got shot in the finger.
Yeah, that sucks. Getting hit in the finger. Yep.
But he was okay like 5 minutes later. So he was good.
Yeah, and then he was doing good in the softball, which is more like what he's playing.
Yeah.
You know, the way they pitch the ball. They just kind of underhand it to the kids, the coaches pitch.
Yeah, yeah.
So
it's been great, like watching them and seeing. I'm so excited for Joey.
Yeah.
Because I just, like, you're very good at sports. You're very athletic. Like, you just get shit. Though I thought I was hitting the ball pretty good yesterday.
Yeah, you were.
You know?
Yeah.
But I see you, like in jiu-jitsu, you caught on pretty quick. You know, you played football. It's like whatever you try, like you're good at. You're naturally good at sports. Yeah. You know, me on the other hand, it's like I need to find something that I like or, you know, it's just not going to work out. And even if I like it, you know. Anyway, what was I going with that? Oh, Joey. I'm like, okay, I hope this kid doesn't take after me.
Yeah.
You know, and when we were coaching soccer, they were in soccer. He was not.
No, he didn't like
excited about that. Not at all. Like we had to force him to play, which really sucked. You know, and then now he just didn't seem like he was very much into sports. And it seems like he's really enjoying baseball. So it's good it feels good to see him out there working as a team and he's getting it and enjoying it. You know?
So I think he got 3 hits yesterday and he got 1 kid out, which was cool. So that was new for him. And he was playing third base. So if the kid would have got past third base, he would have scored. Yes. And Joey stopped him from scoring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Audrey, seeing her just being, you know, scrappy.
Yeah.
You know, because she
and
has
bouncy.
such a soft heart. I don't know what was going on with that.
Yesterday, it was like she was playing on a pogo stick.
I was looking at her and I'm thinking we should put her in ballet.
She was just like bouncing and hopping. Well, I mean, they're playing basketball.
Yeah.
But in like they would get the ball or like her team, the other team would score and now it's her turn to run down the court. Mm-hmm. And instead of running down the court, I don't know what you would call it. Like, was she like prancing? I don't know. She was like, she's like a little kangaroo, just like boing, boing, boing.
She wasn't like the other game. She was low to the ground. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like she just, I don't know. Yesterday, she just felt light on her feet.
She was hopping all over the place. And then we heard the coach from the other side of the basketball court. He's like, Audrey, stop hopping so much.
Right, right.
It was funny.
So have you read that? I think you have. David Goggins, You Can't Hurt Me.
Yeah.
Have you got to the part where he's talking about the cookie jar?
Yes. Yeah, I had that. I think I had that on my last one, but I didn't get to it. But yeah.
You didn't get to it?
Yeah, I saw it. I listened to it.
So what the cookie jar is when you get in a situation, I don't know. Okay, so say that you were doing something and you're doing it well. Maybe, I don't know, a new sport. Yeah. And you were doing well, like really well. And you received this reward. Okay? Whatever. Trophy. Because maybe for the best player. And then all of a sudden you try something new. And let me know because this is how I understood it.
Okay.
And you get into a tough situation and you're starting to doubt yourself.
Yeah.
It's almost like what he said is take yourself back in time when you felt that pride or that achievement.
Yeah.
Is that what that was about?
Yeah. Yeah. That's what it was. So what he was saying, it's kind of like taking your wins, the times that you've won or the times that you've been in a tough situation.
But you won. Right.
To take those and what he calls is like putting them in a cookie jar, those situations.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know exactly how the cookie jar, how it came, but he was talking about like his mom would bring him cookie jar. She had a cookie jar and she would just empty cookies in there. And every once in a while he would get to go get one. But I don't know how it relates right now to this, but pretty much it's like a reference point. So when you're going through something tough, you go back to that cookie jar that has all these wins in it and you pull one out.
Right.
It's like you've been here before.
Yes.
You know, and you know that you can push through because you did it that time. Because sometimes we forget about all the other things that we've done when we're going through these tough things.
Right. So what I do and what I've noticed that I do is that because I've always, with my weight, has always been like up and down, like a roller coaster, right? Until I was able to do exactly what he said. So when I felt my best, and when I felt that I looked my best, if I feel that I'm getting off track, I take myself mentally back there. But I take myself, it's more negative. I use a negative spin to it because I take myself back to how I felt when I was heavy and when I wasn't, in good shape, and how I felt about myself when I was at that point.
Yeah, well, he was saying that it doesn't all have to be positive. It could be positive and negative.
Right.
Kind of like recently in one of the other podcasts that I was talking about when I was running, and I was thinking about the sign that I put up on the mirror. Mm-hmm. Like, that's not a positive thing. That's negative.
Right.
But that kept me running.
Right, because you don't want to go back there.
No.
Yes.
So you have that, and then you also have positive times when, when you thought that you were going to quit, and then you kept going, and you did what you were supposed to do.
Yeah. So when he was mentioning it, I didn't remember him saying that you can use it in, not a negative manner, but taking yourself back to a place maybe where you don't want to go. Yeah. If you feel that you're, heading that way. Like, remind yourself how you felt in that situation, Yeah.
Yeah, so it could be a positive or a negative thing.
Yeah.
That keeps you moving forward.
And that's what's been helping me. I got, back in the gym, and that's something that for me, it's just time. It's time. It's not that I don't like to work out. It's not that I don't enjoy being at the gym. It's having the time to do it, because when you're self-employed, your schedule is kind of like, it's everywhere. You know what I'm saying? So you got to, figure it out. But now that, Nito, our nephew, is back with us, and we could talk about that a little later if we want to. But now that he's here, I'm thinking, I could actually be at the gym at 5:00 since he's here, and then come back.
Yeah, you can do it. See, and actually later on in the book, in Can't Hurt Me, he talks about actually working out specifically. He talks about that the number one excuse for people not working out is, what is it? What would you think it would be?
Time.
I don't have time.
Yeah.
I just don't have time to go to the gym to work out. And another thing that I had written down that I was thinking about, like, if it's a lot of times people say they want to do things, but they don't really want to do them. Like, it sounds good when you say it, but
they're lying to themselves. Like, you're saying it, but that's not how you truly feel.
Yeah, like, I want to, I'd like to go to the gym, but I don't have any time.
Right. That's they're bullshit. Using time as an excuse.
That's bullshit. Because if you really wanted to go to the gym, and if you really wanted to work out, you would figure out how you're going to make it happen.
Well, 2, LA Fitness isn't 24 hours.
Either way, you would figure it out. If it was important, you know what? You would be like, I'm shutting my phone off for an hour, 1 hour, and I'm going to go to the gym, and that's it. Or I'm going to wake up earlier and go to the gym or whatever. If you really wanted to do it, which is like, I was thinking about that this week. These weeks now are insane, because Monday, like, jiu-jitsu is something that I really enjoy and I want to do. Now, I could say, well, I don't have time to do jiu-jitsu because Monday, Audrey has basketball practice. So I can't go to jiu-jitsu on Monday. Tuesday, something could come up. But actually, Tuesday is the day that I do go to jiu-jitsu with the kids. Wednesday, Joey has baseball practice. Thursday, I have school. Friday, you could just make something up. But it makes for a very busy week. But if you really want to do it, you can do it. And running. Like, I decided I want to start running again, so I have to fit it in. And the truth is, like, how much time, for somebody out there that wants to do something, how much time do we spend on Facebook or on Instagram or on YouTube looking up bullshit?
Yeah.
Watching other people do things that we want to do.
Right.
If you really wanted to do it, you could probably cut out 45 minutes of Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube in one day and go do it. But you really don't want to do it.
I don't know. I mean, I think for me, it's just different because you know how busy I am.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think now that Nito's here, I think the best time would be at 5:00 because I, get signings at night and, and when I'm home, it seems like you want me home when you're home.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if I come home late, say 8:00, and I want to go to the gym for an hour and a half, because once I'm there, I'm there.
Yeah, you're there.
I don't think you'd be too happy about that either. So I think the best time for me to get it in is in the morning, Which is, now that he's here, there's no excuse.
Yep.
Get her done.
So now you can go
I'm
do
excited. Yeah.
Yeah. Another thing that David Goggins was talking about in his book, like these next few podcasts till we finish that book are very
that's what
David
you're going to be
Goggins
hearing
oriented.
Yes.
But it kind of relates to, like, back in the day in Legal Shield in the business, they would talk about The Secret, right? Mm-hmm. And for those of you that don't know, The Secret is all about visualization, like the law of attraction. What you think about becomes real. And if you don't, like, if you can't picture yourself, if you can't think about, yourself being successful, then it's probably not going to happen, right?
Right.
Because it has to be constantly thought about, and what you think about, you bring about, right?
And it's not just that. It's allowing yourself to feel it. That's what once you feel it and then, right? It's like your heart needs to connect to the brain.
Yeah. Yeah.
And once they connect, then, because once your heart's in it, you're going to start taking the action you need to make that come true. And
that's what I was going to talk about is, well, the Secret doesn't talk about that.
Right.
The Secret doesn't talk about that.
Right.
And this is one thing, like in Legal Shield, a lot of times, like, you take whatever they say for gospel. Like, that's what it is. But the Secret left out a very important part that you have to visualize it. That is 100% true. If you want to be successful, you got to see yourself being a success, doing the things that successful people do. But that's not enough.
No.
So in the book, Can't Hurt Me with David Goggins, he said visualization will never compensate for work undone. So you can visualize all you want.
Right.
But you don't get to work, it's not going to happen.
Yep. No action.
No. So
0 results.
What he used to do when he would go run a race or go do something, he would first drive the race so that he could see where he was going to be running. And then he would get to mile 30 something. And he's like, right around here, my legs are going to get tight. I'm going to start getting tired. And then he keeps going. He's like, but I'm going to push through right here. And, 50 miles in, this is going to happen. my shins are going to start hurting or whatever. You know, my camelback might break and I won't have any water.
Right.
You know, like he just goes through the entire race and visualizes himself in every part of this race. Like he's been there before. But once he's done that, he goes back to work, back to training, riding his bike to work for 16 miles, running home for running to work, running back home. You know, all these things. Just because you visualize it doesn't mean that it's going to happen if you don't work for it. But you have to visualize it in order for it to come true. I asked my dad, for those of you that don't know, my dad was, he used to fight Taekwondo, and he was in the world championship, and he ended in second place in 1977. And I asked him one time, I was like, before you got to that level, like, did you see yourself at that level? And he said he saw it so long ago, like so much earlier, like when he first started training and he started moving up. He was like, one day I'll be a world champ. And for those that don't know, he got second place, but he wasn't able to fight for first because of some political stuff. But he could have been number one world champ.
Yeah.
You know, but like I said, he saw it way before, way in advance.
Right.
You know?
No, that, makes sense. There you go. Secret part 2.
Yeah.
Action.
So watch The Secret and then you can fill in the blanks. You can fill in the blanks. Get to work.
Yeah, because other than that, it's just like a wish.
Yeah.
You know, it's a wish.
Yeah, there's one thing, like getting back to the other thing that we were talking about. Like if something is important and you'll make it happen, you can make excuses or you can make it happen, but you can't do both.
Yeah.
Right? Like if you really want to do it, you'll figure out how to make it happen.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Sorry, my mic just seems to be a little low there. Let me adjust this.
So yeah. So I thought, I think we're right about in the same part of the book.
Yeah. So I was invited by the Women's Council of Realtors to this networking event called Hats and Heels. And Leela, who owns Vision Realty, is a really good friend of mine. And she, keeps inviting me, and because they have it every year. And something always comes up. And right before this event, I had 2 signings back to back. So I'm like, I really want to go. But you can never control what happens in a signing.
Yeah.
Some of them are smooth and some of them are not so smooth. So I told her, I really want to go. I'm going to try to make it happen. And everything went perfect that morning. I mean, I knocked those signings out. I even got there earlier. And it was so cool to see the setup. First of all, I don't have a hat. I mean, the only hat I have is a Packers hat.
Yeah.
That's not the type of event it was. Right? That would have been funny. So, they were selling hats there. And so I went and bought a hat. But it was such a great event. And, the thing of it is that our business, Trust Inc., is taking off.
Yeah.
And it feels so good because it's my baby, right?
Yeah.
And I had a girl call me and she wants me to mentor her. She wants to be a mobile notary.
Yeah.
And she's like, I heard that you've sponsored a few events for some lenders and that, that you're very active. And she's like, and I'm just starting off and I want you to mentor me. And I'm like, sure, no problem.
Yeah.
She's like, well, how are you getting all these gigs? And so I think we've talked about this before, but people don't see the sweat, the hard work, the late nights of me coming home, because of all the network and building rapport and making friends, because that's what it is. If you're running a business today and you're having difficulty, getting it up and running, instead of looking at the outcome, right? Instead of looking at the money that needs to be made in order for you just to break even, you need to focus on who you need to connect with in order to build a friendship, because that's what it is. It's all about building friendships.
Yeah.
And it's never about what your needs are. Like, what are you needing? But you have to put the person in front of you before yourself and think about, what do they need? What can I do to make their life easier? What can I do? And pay attention to your surroundings and what they're saying when you do, end up taking them out for lunch or for coffee or for a networking event. Because I remember when I first started building Legal Shield, it was all about how many cards I can collect.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I would go home and not remember a thing because I was so busy focused on collecting the cards. Yeah. And instead what I do today is I'm going into this event to make 5 new friends.
Yeah, so that people remember who you are.
Yes.
And you remember who they are.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And it's helped me in so many ways to do just that.
Yeah.
And those 13 years of networking with Legal Shield, building friendships, has led us to the success that we're having today with Trust Inc. It did not happen overnight. Not at all.
Well, and the thing is that also when you have something that you're thinking about constantly, then creativity starts coming. Mm-hmm. Because people might be like, oh, like this girl's asking you, like, so how did you get to where you are today? Like just earlier today, you're printing out labels for chill pills, which is like these little M&M things that you drop off to title companies. Mm-hmm. But that's something that came from just constantly thinking about the business. Like, what can I do to get my stuff out there?
Right.
So when it's always at the front of your mind, there's a lot of different things that you've done. Like we can't remember everything. Actually, the business of Trust Inc. It started because we were thinking about the other business, about Legal Shield. Like, how can we grow this Legal Shield business? Well, we sell, people get a will with the services and they have to get them notarized. Well, what if I become a notary? I mean, people are dealing with legal documents. Mm-hmm. And then maybe I can sell them Legal Shield. So Trust Inc. started from creativity from something else. Right. But it's because you're constantly thinking about, your business and what you're doing is where the creativity comes in and how things grow.
So because this podcast was your idea, how did that come about? Because you just asked me one day, like you asked me out of nowhere. I mean, I didn't even think you were even thinking of starting a podcast.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've thought about it for a while because I listen to a lot of podcasts. But, I mean, I've also, with all the friends that you have and all the people that you know, and you wanted to get into the speaking, into public speaking and that sort of thing. And I thought, having a podcast is something that people can look at. People can follow you more than anything. They can follow you and then, you never know what this will lead into. It might lead into that, or it might just be a successful podcast. Mm-hmm. Because I've also seen, what a successful podcast can become. But that, more than anything, it was just so that you could have a place to speak to people, and because it seemed like you were doing a lot of Facebook Lives.
Yeah.
And you would get a lot of people that would watch your Facebook Live. And I thought, well, this is like a Facebook Live kind of, but for an hour. Right. And the more of these that you have out there, the more exposure you get, and then maybe you can get some speaking engagements.
Speaking of that, I think this would be really cool, and I know we've talked about this already, to do it live. Yeah. Because I don't remember whose show I was on, but they had it to where there was a screen and their listeners or people that were watching live could actually go on there and ask questions while they were recording it live, and they had someone else helping, obviously, that was reading, but it wasn't anything big, No, I don't remember the name of.
Yeah, eventually this can grow into something like that. I mean, we need some more equipment and different things, but that could be in the future.
That would be super cool. And I think we would probably get even more views that way.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
Yeah.
So
anyway,
more creativity for the business.
And if it could be remote.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, well, we can already pack this up and take it different places.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, I have a friend who lives in, I don't know, different country, you know?
Well, we've recorded a podcast in a different country.
But not with them. I'm saying us here in Arizona them wherever they are.
Yeah, well, that'll come. That'll come in the future.
So there you go. Some goals to work on. Oh. Okay. So this reminded me of you. I go to UPS to drop off a package.
Yeah.
And, you know, been busting my butt, like working. And I'm becoming a little bit of a perfectionist when it comes to my notary business. And you know that's not me, right?
Okay.
Being a perfectionist, that's not me. Detailed oriented, it was not me. But it's becoming
that's good.
Part of me, which is really good.
Yeah.
And so I go drop off my package and it's all nicely neat, put together. And this young kid behind the counter, they're about to close.
Yeah.
I take in my package. He's packaging it up very roughly, I might ask. Okay.
Might add.
Yeah, I might add. And there's some personal information in this document, and he's putting it in a cardboard. I'm like, wait a minute, it's been raining a couple days. Can you wrap it first in a plastic bag, then or cardboard, then the plastic? And he's like, yeah, sure. So he wraps it all up. He gets the label that the sticky part that the label goes in, and he just smacks it on the front of it, and it's all lopsided.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at this kid like, I want to choke you out. Because I've seen it done the right way. He put it in the front of the package versus the back of the package where the label's supposed to go.
Yeah.
And I'm like, are they going to accept it that way? He's like, yeah, that's fine. No big deal.
Yeah.
I didn't say anything, but it brought back, there was you were talking about something.
Yeah.
You know, about, you know, how people, what they do, the effort they put into what they do.
Yeah.
Doing things the right way versus the wrong way.
Well, they're just half-ass and stuff.
Yes. And I'm thinking to myself, the title company's going to get this. And even though they know I'm not the one packaging it, I'm like, that's
Can you package it?
Me. They take it from you. They do it. I don't know. I'll ask next time, but they usually take it from you. They do everything. I'll fold the label for them, you know, but they put the paperwork in the package.
Maybe what you have to do is get some envelopes from them. Be like, hey, you know what? Can I have some envelopes? That way next time I can just drop it off and you can send it out. Just get it.
Yeah, that's
Don't
right.
leave it to them to fuck up your business.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Obviously, he can't handle it.
Yeah.
It's too difficult.
Yes.
You know, but that's...
I couldn't believe it. He just threw that bad boy on there. I'm like, is that on there tight? Because it looks like could be easily ripped off.
No, it's just...
You know?
Just being lazy.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Because you could it would take less than 10 seconds to do it the right way.
Right. It's just having the work ethic.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah, the attention to detail.
Yeah. Anyways, what's going on with you? What you got over there, huh?
So earlier in the week, I had a situation with Audrey, and I don't know what she was thinking, but she had to do some homework. And instead of going to where she usually does her homework, she decided she wants to do homework in her brother's room, in Joey's room. And he's got a little table, his little desk in there that he sits at, and he's got all his toys up there. Mm-hmm. So she decides that she's going to grab, pretty much just slid her hand across the desk and just knocked everything off of his little table. Mm-hmm. And his room was cleaned up. But now there's crap all over the floor. Mm-hmm. All his toys are all over the place. So I was downstairs with Joey helping him with his work. Mm-hmm. And we go upstairs and I look in here. I'm like, what are you doing in here, first of all? Why aren't you in your room? She's like, oh, I wanted to do my work in here. And then I'm like, what happened? Or Joey was the one, he was upset.
Oh, I'm sure.
He was upset because all his stuff was all over the floor.
Yeah.
And he's like, what happened to my stuff? And I asked Audrey, I was like, did you throw, because you can tell, like the whole desk was completely wiped clear.
Yeah.
Except for the paper that she's working on. I'm like, what happened here? I was like, did you throw all his stuff on the floor? And she's like, well, I wanted to do my work here. And I was like, what are you thinking? Like, this isn't your stuff. And then Joey even says, he's like, well, at least she didn't break anything. So I tell her, I was like, clean up all this stuff, put it back on the desk, and then go to your desk and do your work. Don't come into his room making a mess and for him to clean up, and then, you're just like, oh, I'm out.
Yeah.
So I don't know what her deal was, but she had a bit of an attitude. But she starts grabbing his toys. He just said at least she didn't break anything. Now she's just tossing, launching stuff in the air, and it's just landing on that table.
I can't see her doing that.
She was. And Joey was like, what are you doing? Like, he said something. And it just pissed me off. Like, the lack of respect for his stuff. So I went to her room and I just wiped off her dresser. All the stuff that she had on her dresser. Now, nothing, it wasn't like I started smashing things, but I just threw everything off of her dress. Like, you want to make a mess in somebody's room? And I told her, how would you like it if somebody went to your room and started throwing your stuff all over the place for you to pick up, not taking care of your stuff? Because that's what she was doing to him. So I threw all her stuff all over the place. And I told her, when you're done here, go to your room and clean up the stuff now. And put it away the way it's supposed to go. But, I don't know what she was thinking. Just throwing his stuff all over the place. Now, when you got home, we're sitting there talking about what happened. And you started giving me a hard time about me throwing her stuff. Like, well, she threw his stuff and now you threw her stuff, and that doesn't make it right. But it's so that she understands what it's like. You don't just throw people's things. You can't do that. Like it's not right. So what?
Two wrongs don't make a right. And
it doesn't matter.
Regardless how you feel, I feel that what you did was wrong, because you can't tell her something is not right and then go and do it.
So you're going to tell me that, so what are you supposed to do? When she already messed up and now she's throwing his stuff, launching them, and she's probably going to break something.
Something's going on though, because that's not Audrey. So
kids have
my thing was,
lapse in judgment sometimes.
Did you sit with her and ask her and talk to her, or did you just flip a lid, go run in her room,
I'm explaining
and throw
to you what
everything
happened.
off her desk?
I had already explained to her, and I wasn't gonna do it. I wasn't gonna do that. All I was gonna have her do was pick up Joey's stuff and put it back on the table, and then she could go and do her homework. But she decided that she was gonna be a little jerk and start throwing his toys.
Yeah.
That's when I wiped her dresser clean. It wasn't like, oh, look at what you did, now I'm going to go do it to you. No, she decided that she wanted to be a jerk and start throwing his toys.
And she's just usually not a jerk. So that just surprises me. Anyways, listeners, as you can see, this is not resolved because I still stand firm. I feel that you shouldn't have done what you did, because two wrongs don't make a right. I think you should have sat with her, talked to her, and maybe grounded her, but not do what you did. And so, listeners, hey, it's up to you.
Nope.
We love you. Who's right? 1 for Sonja, 2 for Miguel. Waiting for you guys so that we can handle this situation.
Yeah. So, anyway, that was... I don't know what the hell she was thinking.
That's just out of her character.
Yeah.
It is, like, totally out of her character.
But you don't get to get away with that.
No, but that's why I would have sat with her and said, hey, what's going on? Because this is not you. Like, what's going on? Talk to her. And then ground her.
No, she got the point.
But not...
No, she got the point afterward. And she was mad at me, and that's fine.
She was very upset.
That's
you want
fine.
to know? I didn't even... Oh, I don't have my phone. I am so glad my signing ended when it ended, because it would have been hard for me not to leave a signing with what she wrote. And I didn't even,
That's
and
fine.
for her, she doesn't even talk like that. So, she was just, she just said, like, I don't feel like I belong here. I feel like leaving. But she's not that way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? She's like, and so I saw that and I'm like, what in the world is happening? And that's when I was done, right? I was done with the signing. So I was already on my way home to find out what the heck was going on, because that message coming from her, I'm like, did somebody hack her? Like, that's what I was thinking at first. Did somebody hack her messenger or something? What's going on?
Oh, she sent you a message?
She sent me a message.
Yeah.
That's
fine. That's fine. She could get all up in her feelings if she wants to, but she doesn't get to just be a jerk.
No, I know, but I'm just saying that was out of her character.
Yeah.
Anyways, we talked about the cookie jar. Did I tell you? A cop freaking...
Oh, yeah. You were telling me about that.
What the hell's going on? Like, is there an emergency going on? So anyways, I was heading... What is that? South? Is
Doesn't
that south?
matter.
Okay, anyways, I was heading straight. I had my turn signal light on. This cop was pulling out of a Circle K. I was heading straight. I had my turning signal on to get on the right-hand lane.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he just didn't see me or what. I saw him, and he turned right, in. I was already moving over.
Yeah.
And he turned right into that lane. If I didn't move over, he would have hit me. And I know the people that were
he probably
behind me were
attention.
thinking what the hell was that? But I thought that was an emergency. I thought he was going to hit his lights and start taking off, but he didn't.
He was probably on his computer or whatever.
What the hell did that just happen? Right now?
Yeah. I don't know.
Oh, man.
But I can tell you that if you hit him or whatever happened,
so I called Miguel.
It would have been your fault.
Yeah. So I called Miguel, and that's what he said. I'm like, what do you mean it would have been my fault? He's a police officer. I'm like, shut up.
Yeah. That's how it goes.
Oh, well, that didn't happen. So anyways.
Yeah. Earlier this week, the kids had an active shooter drill.
Oh.
That's something that kids are having.
Yeah.
Now, kids in school nowadays are having these active shooter drills.
Mm-hmm.
It's freaking crazy. It's crazy to think about it. And I don't know what the probability is, but from what I understand, the chances of having a school shooting are pretty low.
Mm-hmm.
And to be training kids, I don't know, it puts them in a certain mind state.
Totally. Yeah.
Of hey, somebody can come in here and shoot this place up at any minute. I don't know. It seems kind of weird, but I don't know. Maybe train the teachers to figure out what to do.
Right.
But when I was a kid, I remember we used to have nuclear attack drills. Did you guys have that here?
No.
Yeah.
No, we had fire drills, and that was it.
Well,
drills.
We had fire drills in New York, but we also had nuclear attack drills. So there was certain places in the school that were like a bomb shelter. Mm-hmm. Because back in those days, I guess we were worried about Russia maybe dropping a bomb on us or whatever. But we would have drills where you had to go get out of your classroom into the hallways where there was no windows, mm-hmm. and you duck down or do something, or go down into the basement or something. We used to have bomb drills.
Yeah, yeah.
But now they're having active shooder drills.
You're right.
It's freaking crazy.
Yeah. And our kids, they come home and they tell us, and you can see that they're a bit worried. Why? Why are we having these drills?
Yeah.
I don't know. Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing, listeners? What do you think? I guess to be prepared, but I don't know. I'm a little, when it comes to that.
Maybe prepare the teachers.
Yeah.
I mean, for a little
That's true.
kid.
I know. Joey's only 7.
I don't know. I don't know.
How do you go? Yeah, you're right.
It's kind of tough.
You're right. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. So what's up?
Nothing.
Hey, I'm doing pretty good. I've been sitting in this chair, not having to get up and run.
Yeah, you have been. You asked me to write down cockroaches on my
shit. Yes.
notes
Okay.
for you.
Okay, so listen, okay? Listen. Take yourself back.
Yeah.
Way back. When you were young. Okay, so with us, and I asked you how you lived back then, but we grew up in the projects, very humble beginnings, okay? And like the roaches were our friends.
They were part of your life.
Like they were the norm. Like they lived with us or we lived with them, whatever the hell. Okay?
Yeah, you guys live with them. Because they were there after you left.
Right.
They're still there now.
Right. And they would come in and exterminate and all this other stuff. But it was like normal just, to see a roach. And some of our listeners like, are you
like, what the
freaking
hell?
kidding me, Sonja? Like for real? I named them.
We don't live with roaches anymore. All right.
I would name them and play dolls with them. No. They would have their little families. But anyways, it was just the norm. And so what were we talking about that brought this up? There was something that happened. And
I don't know.
I'm like, today, I'm sorry.
You get grossed out.
There's
you freak.
No way. Okay, there's no way. I know what it was. We had someone who was talking to us about how his computer was infested with roaches. Like he opened it up to clean it out and all these.
Well, you were talking about, yeah.
Anyways, and I just got so sick to my
some of these
stomach.
Apartments, like there's nothing you can do about it. Like when we were living in New York, it was like that. I mean, I think it's a common thing in New York.
Is it?
Like you just live with them. Like you turn the lights on. No, you know what? I don't know. Because from what I remember, all the friends that I had, we all had roaches.
Yeah, but
like,
you guys
it was just
all lived in the same apartments.
The same apartment building, yeah.
Right. And
but,
so
I don't know. I didn't go to the freaking penthouses in Manhattan and see if they had roaches. No.
But what I know now that we, took ourselves out of the situation.
Yeah.
I don't see that as the norm.
Well,
I don't.
No, of course not.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, there's a roach. Oh, heck no.
Kill
you better
it.
Kill it, my butt. You better start exterminating inside, outside, and all the houses around us.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's crazy when you go back and think about growing up. Like that, yeah, it was a normal thing. You turn the lights on and they freaking scram, and then they disappear, and then you turn the lights off and they come back out. It's
right.
Freaking gross. But hey, it is what it is.
But when you grow, there's a message I want to get across, and I can't. I'm thinking it, but it's hard for me to speak it. I have issues with that.
Yeah.
But as you grow, as you become better, not saying that we're better than anybody out there.
No.
But your lifestyle changes, and there's a certain expectation. I don't know.
In a place like New York, or depending on where you live, there's not much you can do about it.
Yeah.
I mean, they're in the walls. This is disgusting, by the way.
The freaks come out at night.
And you might kill all the ones in your apartment, but they'll make their way from your neighbor's apartment. Right. It's just how it is.
Anyway.
But we had a parent-teacher conferences this week. And I was happy. Like, the kids, obviously, they could be doing better in school.
Yeah.
But one thing that I was really happy about was, the teachers all said that our kids are very sweet.
They're kind.
They're very sweet. They're kind. They're
respectful.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which was awesome. Like
good
that.
Manners.
I was happy to hear that.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
I mean, we got some work to do, but
yeah.
As far as the way they act in school, yes. They're doing great.
They're good little citizens.
Yeah.
I tell them almost every day. Audrey corrected me. Yeah. Did you hear her? Not every morning. I'm like, ugh. But I tell them that before they leave the door or walk out the door, be kind.
Yeah.
Be kind. If you see someone sad, go sit with them and see what you can do to help.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's true.
Because their grades are important, but I think
Just being a good person.
Yeah.
That's more important.
Right.
They're gonna like. I don't know if I told the teachers. I mean, I'm sure I've told the teachers because I've told them before. But really, and I've said it on here before, all they need is some math, reading, and hustle. That's it.
Right.
They don't need all the other shit that they teach them in school. They just don't. They'll figure it out. They'll learn what they want to learn, whatever they're interested in. They'll figure that out. But being kind is something that's important. Being nice.
So let me ask you, how much time do we have?
We got some minutes.
All right. So do you feel I'm your true soulmate? No.
Yeah.
Why?
You know what? Like, true soulmate, I mean, I don't know. Like, there's, how many people are in the world? How many billions of people are in the world?
Right.
I mean, we're great together.
Right.
You know, but.
What do you think a true soulmate, like, what do you feel that definition is?
Shit. I don't know. You tell me. You think about this stuff all the time, it seems like. You can tell, for those of you that listen to the podcast, this is something that I have thought about how much? Probably 0 seconds.
Anyways, so I was listening to this podcast, but it's right on. Because they say a true soulmate. When you think of a true soulmate, you think of someone who, is going to make you happy and like just your general, right? Is going
somebody
to
that puts
love
up
you
with
for
your shit.
life. Who's someone, who's very similar to who you are, and it's the total opposite. It's someone who's going to show you the things that you need to get better at.
Okay.
And so when I was thinking of that, like I was thinking of us and how we are so different. We are so different in many, many ways.
Yeah.
Right? And like with you are very like matter of fact. Right?
Yeah.
You are, you're on time all the time. You're very analytical. You're very anal. The way you fold clothes used to drive me freaking bananas because everything had to be just a certain way, and I wasn't taught that way. I'm just like, I'm gonna fold this shit the way it works, and however it works, it fits in the drawer, I'm good. But seeing this jerk,
you would just slap the label on the package sideways and crooked and fucking throw it in the basket.
No, because that's work though. That's different. You know what I'm saying? That's different.
Yeah.
You know what? Maybe in my past, probably not right now, but in my past, maybe. Yeah. I don't know. Anyways. But I see a lot in you, the things that I want to become better at.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like being detailed oriented, being self-motivated. Because you may not see it in you, but I see it in you. And so I see the things that I want to get better at in you.
Yeah.
Now the things that you lack are the things that I have. Not lack, but things that you can improve on.
Yeah. That's how we balance each other out.
Yes. And so they were talking about like a soulmate. A true soulmate is someone, it's a mirror of everything that you lack. I can't remember word for word, from achieving your true potential. Anyways, so those of you that are looking for a true soulmate, look for someone who's a total opposite.
That just seems like that's how it goes a lot of times.
It does. But when people don't grasp it, like I had to tell you earlier in our relationship, I would second guess, like, is he the one for me? Because we're so different. What I want to do at times is not what you want to do, but that's not what a relationship is about. It's about coming together, understanding, loving each other for the differences that we have, but coming to a common ground.
Yeah.
To make things work and recognizing the things that we need to get better at. And looking at you, I see the things that I can get better at. And I know that the things that I have, I know there's, times where you're like, thinking maybe I should be more patient, or maybe I should be more, or maybe I should be more, but you're more like, at times you look at it in a negative manner. Like if I'm judging you for being a jerk or an a-hole, like the whole situation that happened with Adriana.
Yeah.
Like I was so not happy with how you reacted, but because you were so temperamental at that time, I couldn't even talk to you because you were upset. Like you didn't even want to hear what I had to say.
The way I see it is that you didn't get my back. You didn't get my back, and you weren't there.
Yeah.
You weren't there.
But
I handled it.
I didn't say it in front of her. You and I were in the room, though you were speaking very loudly. I'm sure she heard.
Well, because the first thing when I said something is you started questioning me.
Well, yeah.
Instead of trying to figure out, before I told you all the details of exactly what went down, you started questioning me.
Yeah.
About
like, did you
how
ask
I handled
her?
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't know. You weren't there.
Right.
I did.
But that's why I was talking to you about it, to find out, did you get a chance to ask her, why is she acting this way? Because that's not our daughter. Yeah. That's not the way she acts. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Anyways, to find your true soulmate, just look for someone who's totally opposite than you.
I can't imagine. Patience. I mean, I guess there have been people that are similar and they get together. That seems like it would be a disaster.
No. Oh, my God. To be with someone like me?
Like, if you have somebody that never gets up off the couch and all they do is watch TV and eat ice cream, to have two people like that? Holy shit. I can't imagine. Like, what would you...
Yeah.
I don't know how you would function.
You know what, though? In those situations, you and I are pretty similar, don't you think? Like, neither one of us...
I don't know. Man, to a point. But...
I mean, we can... If it's something that we're into, I mean, we...
Yeah, it's different. But, I mean, not on a regular basis. We got to get to work.
Yeah. But I think we both know that. Like, that's something that we're in common. Like, our work ethic...
Well, yeah, like, we might hang out and watch TV for a while, and then we're... At a certain point, we're just like, all right... That's enough. Well, the thing is that we don't even do that until the work is done.
Right. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. In that area, I think we're alike.
Yeah.
Like, I think once we're tired, if we busted our butts and everything's done and we decided to chill, we're chilling. If it's the entire weekend and we're cheating, like eating bad and chilling, we're 100% with it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But it's after everything's done. Like the kids are good. We made a decision that we're going to freaking do absolutely nothing and eat everything in sight. We are happy campers.
Yeah, true.
You know?
Yeah.
So, but I think that our basic foundation, what makes us work is our basic foundation, meaning our parenting. Like the foundations that you need to have in common, I think are there. For us, the way we parent is similar. I mean, there's some times where, we're different, but we're the same. If that makes any. Who said that? Freaking Chris.
Yeah. Same, but different.
Same, but different. That's Miguel and I.
That's us.
Same, but different.
Yep.
That's a good shirt.
Yeah.
Same, but different.
So, anyway, I think we're getting down to the end of the podcast. Yeah. So. We appreciate you guys being with us. We appreciate you guys listening. Make sure you go to oppositesattractpod.com and support the show there. You can watch all the stuff there. If you want to follow us on any of the social media, you can follow us at Opposite Pod.
Yes.
So.
Yes. Appreciate you guys. Love you guys. Have an amazing Sunday.
Talk to you guys next week.
Do
Bye.
something nice for somebody. Bye.